Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. In today's video, I'll be talking about Bitcoin as well as I'll go ahead and have a further continuation talk about Orchid. There's not really much movement going on in the space. On the positive side, everything was tanking quite considerably, which I'm going to show you in just a second here. So I'm just going to go ahead and focus on these two for today. If you guys are new to the channel and you want to come back and hang out for more information on Bitcoin, these altcoins, what's going on in the news, definitely make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the like button as well. It'd be awesome if we could hit 50 likes on this video. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. First off, President, probably heard by now, but just in case you didn't, or the few of you that haven't, the President of the United States has tested positive for COVID-19. And as an implication because of this, the market is starting to see some downfall on it. So he said, we will get through this together. Sent it out on a tweet. Australia ASX, all ordinaries, is down 1.35%. In the U.S. market, the S&P 500 futures fell 2%. We're actually going to look at what the prices are currently as of the time of this video. Gold is up 0.32% on the day. Bitcoin is also down by 1.9%, having fallen from 10,678 to around 10,400. But now it's actually had a bit of a climb back up. So very interesting news in that regards. Other news, BitMEX is under criminal investigation. Their exchange, not exactly a place where a lot of tracking has been going on historically. And so because of that, a lot of illegal activity has been taking place. And now they're really being targeted. BitMEX made itself available as a vehicle for money laundering and sanctions violations. The indictment released on Thursday said BitMEX has handled more than $1.5 billion of trades each day recently, making it one of the 5 biggest exchanges on most days. So a lot of people that use BitMEX, surprisingly, they're actually just kind of sitting on the sidelines waiting to see what's going on. There was a decent amount that was moved off of the actual exchange, either to other exchanges such as Gemini or to private actual wallets. So did it have an impact on the market? Yes, it did to a degree. I was actually watching through the BTCUSD.aggr.trade website, and last night during a lot of the actual downturn of Bitcoin, you could see a long list of what exchanges were listing that were selling, and the two predominant ones were Binance Futures and BitMEX. Looking at the actual chart movements here, on the top 100 list, according to CoinMarketCap, the worst losers, or the biggest losers, are UMA. Well, the worst losers? I guess they were the... Well, it depends on how you look at it. Anyways, the people that lost the most, UMA, number 1 in 24 hours, dropping 15.95%. Ouch. We got Uniswap down 14.19%. SushiSwap down 13.87%. Band Protocol, that one's on discount for sure. 11.93% drop right there. The biggest gainers in the last 24 hours. Puma Pay. I mean, I haven't heard of this thing before. Circulated supply, it's got 26 billion. Market cap is around $37 million. Its price point, not even worth 1 cent. If you think this is something we should look more into and maybe you know a little bit about it, let us know in the comments down below. And also, we could see, Tether, obviously, I don't even know why it's listed here. For price, why should it even have price movement changes? Oh, it changed 0.08% to $1. Who would have thought? Man, I put all this money in Tether thinking it's going to go 100x. And it doesn't go anywhere. If anything, it looks like it's always going down some. It's a scam. Take a look at the stock market prices right now. You can see the S&P 500 is actually down almost 1%. It's at 0.84% as of the time of this video at 9:10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tesla is down over 5%. NASDAQ down over 2%. NASDAQ also down over 2%. So the stock market not doing too well today here on the opening. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin. Then I'll show you a little bit more in regards to Orchid And by the way, guys, we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So just once again, if you guys haven't yet subscribed, especially if you've been watching these videos on the daily, would really help out our channel a lot if you do hit that sub button. We have little goals that we set up here on the daily. And yeah, would love for you guys to come and hang out with us more often. Make sure you guys have that bell notification and stuff so you guys know what's going on in the channel. So if we take a look over here on Bitcoin, you can actually see that there was a formation of a head and shoulders pattern. We're looking at this on the 1 hourly chart, and the neckline that was established right here, you can see a further continuation break. So if you actually take the line from the top of the head and shoulders pattern here, and you would just draw it down like that, you can actually pull this over, and you can see that as we break below this level of support, the level that it stopped at was almost dead perfect for the later point over here at around $10,360. I mean, that's pretty remarkable from the way I look at it. So that itself is very interesting. Now, something else, as of more recently, when we're still looking at this on the 1 hour, we have either two options. We've got a descending triangle pattern if you set it up right here, which, as I can kind of see, the hourly closes were right along this line. The wicks weren't, which I'll show you guys in that circumstance too right now. But this formation, I feel there's a lot of consolidation that takes place right on this line. So this is pretty reliable. And then the second circumstance, you can actually just drag this down just slightly here. At this point, we only have 2 points of reference on the baseline and 2 points of reference on the top, which isn't really that ideal, which is why I kind of didn't want to use this. But this forms a symmetrical triangle. So we got a descending triangle pattern and we got a symmetrical triangle pattern. And in the symmetrical triangle pattern, as this squeezes closer and closer into the actual breaking point, it could technically go up or down. So as of this exact moment, it's close to passing above the 21 EMA on the hourly. Not that great and exciting. I use the 21 EMA primarily during the daily, but more importantly is that it's really close of breaking above this level of resistance. So in theory, if it was to use the symmetrical triangle pattern here, we can draw this line right here just to get an idea of where this could end up moving. And if it was to break out, say right here, we could see it having a major push up, pushing it all the way actually above the $11,000 range. Is that going to happen? Probably not. Probably not right now, but it is possible, and that's looking at it on a much more wider scale. So let's go ahead and delete that, and let's use my basis more on the idea that I'm leaning towards of a descending triangle. And the descending triangle pattern, actually, you know what, let me double check because I might be wrong on this one. Descending triangle patterns are, okay, yeah. I thought something seemed a little bit off when I was saying this, and I wanted to double check. So descending triangle patterns, my apologies, are actually a bearish design. And actually, did I even say if it was bullish or bearish? Maybe I didn't. I was thinking in my head that it was bullish at first, but then I wanted to double check myself. Anyways, so the symmetrical triangle could go either way. In a descending triangle pattern, this tends to be a little bit more of a bearish design. And so you take into principle the same kind of mechanic of what we might see on a further continuation down. So we go ahead and take this distance right here. And if Bitcoin was to have a further continuation down, then we could see it pushing down into the range of around $9,931, which is getting actually pretty close to filling that CME futures gap. There's going to be a lot of battle taking place at the $10,000 range, but of total movement down, this is something that is possible. In fact, if you want to, we can even go back to the symmetrical triangle, and based on where it's at right now, if it was to form off of that and have a continuation down, you could see on the daily, if it decided to have a massive plunge below the level of support, I mean, we could see levels going all the way down to 9,914. I don't think that's really realistic, especially with given where we're at. So even if it was from where we're at right now, that would still push it above $10,000, and it's still establishing a strong level of support. So overall, this did have a bit of a retracement back with what's going on in the news, but I would say that Bitcoin is actually still looking pretty strong. And the fact that we're so close to breaking the level of resistance up on the top side definitely something to look into consider. On the hourly though, we still have some time to move, so we could see several more hours pushing all the way up to the brink here of right around, looks like 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which would be on 1 hour after the daily close. So you might want to keep an eye on that, guys. It could be breaking any point in between now and then, but I would say that there's probably going to be a reversal, and this is going to have a continuation up more than likely. Taking a look over on Orchid now. So Orchid, aka OXT, we have right here a descending wedge pattern, and on this tends to be a reversal pattern, and you can actually see from the very top right here, if we drag this on down to the point where it had established its level right around 25, almost 26 cents, we can move this over, and with where we are at currently, we could see it potentially having a breakout above the level of resistance and having to climb up back to around 32 cents. And if it has more of a consolidation zone right here, we're seeing a baseline that's being formed right around the 26 cent range. In fact, you can see on this dotted line, and I'm actually pretty proud of this, by the way. I did a live stream really late last night, and a couple of you guys had tuned in and saw this. Well, I've had a buy order zone to get more Orchid here, and as I previously had missed the bottom out over here on September 18th by, I mean, I was really, really close to getting that buy order to be triggered. It didn't happen. And then again over here on September 23rd, that one I was off by 0.0004 cents. So I was very salty. I don't know if you guys have ever had that happen to you, but I was very salty that it didn't trigger my buy order, and then it started to have this big rally up. But the good news is that it had bad news, and so because of that, when I had raised my level just slightly more, I put it in the region zone that was able to trigger, and I got the order that I wanted to. And now with the climb up, seeing just slight gains on that, doing a little bit more of a dollar cost averaging on my part. And yeah, so I would say that this on the hourly for Orchid is actually looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. The last 2 hours, it's in red. But overall in this descending wedge pattern, like I said, that is a bullish reversal design, and we are pretty close to level resistance. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's go ahead and swap over to the daily and see how things are going with that. Okay, so looking at it on the daily, we also have a descending wedge pattern, and same thing. If we can break above this level of resistance, that's actually going to put us right along the lines of the 21 EMA. So there's several big indicators right there, and if we break above the level of resistance, then I would say this just kind of further develops the pattern and identity that it's about time for Orchid to have its own breakout. So I'm pushing more bullish on this as of the moment. The daily, we have 4 days in a row of red, and the last time that we saw this, we did have a green candle following up. If we have 5 days in the red, I'm going to look back historically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did. Is it potential that this is going to go back? It can. We look at more days to see if there's more than 4 days of in the red. We see another sequence of 4 red candles, and then it was then immediately followed up by a green candle, and that was actually a substantial green candle that took place. Same thing here, 4 days of red, substantial green candle, then 5 days of red. So is 5 days of red possible? Yes, it is possible. And if it has a further continuation down on the level of support, I mean, tomorrow, if this decides to push, we could see it potentially pushing all the way down to 18 cents or so. If it does that, it's essentially back to its previous range. And I have a feeling it's more than likely going to bounce. If it does that, it's on more exchanges right now. It's got new additions to its system that's going to be coming out soon. So there's a lot of promising information. But is it possible? Yes. Is it more likely to happen? I would say no, not based on these trends. In this big green box right here, this is the consolidated space that's been forming previously. You can see we do have a new region zone that's got a lot of establishment. So it might even just kind of stay in between the 0.382 and the 0.382 and the 0.618 level, and essentially form in this new zone as a form of consolidation. But I think these are just a little bit of hit markers as to what's been going on with Bitcoin on the daily as well. You can see it's had a little bit of a hard time here, but with it having some recovery and pushing back up could be very, very promising. And I think as soon as Bitcoin starts to rally and this breaks above that level of resistance and the 21 EMA, that's going to be a nice little kick, and we should see some extra growth on this. So that's going to go ahead and do it for my video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, if you have not subscribed yet, come on, man. It's a subscription button. Feel free to smack that subscription button. Please don't forget to hit like. Let's see if we can get this video to 50 likes, and drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about all this news today. Do you think there's anything that we should keep an eye out for? Some little hidden gem maybe you heard somewhere else? There's a project, there's an altcoin, there's something concerning that you want us to be aware of. Any of that information. Or you could even just say hi. Let me know what you've been thinking about the videos. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next episode.